Jeg hedder Magnus. Jeg bor i Holmstrup, og jeg går på Holmegårdsskolen i 7. klasse. Jeg synes, at det har været spændende at se, hvor meget man egentlig gør ud af det. Alt med affaldssortering og så videre. Jeg vil sige nu, jeg har lært meget om telefoner, hvad der er indhold og meget materialer og sådan noget brugt til det. Så det vil jeg da helt sikkert tænke over.
On the 10th of January 2024, I joined the educational tour at YderZonen, or the Outer Zone, hosted by Alis and Trine, as the people responsible for communication and development of AffaldPlus. It is a 4-hour event with a mix of lectures and discovery that aims to tell the importance of sustainability and emphasize that development and innovation is the key to a sustainable consumption of the Earth's resources. The students are between 13 to 15 years old, who learned that mobile phones contain parts that produce a high amount of carbon dioxide emission and demand a good amount of minerals to produce.
Jamen, jeg hedder Mika og været ansat her i 16 år som driftsoperatør. Primære opgave er jo at brænde ressourcerne af, der kommer ind. Vi er vognmændene, der henter affald i byen og ellers med, og så brænde det og lave det til energi, damp og strøm.
Hvordan vil I have det med at købe mindre? Altså, er det noget, I tænker over? Er det noget, I synes, det vil være svært?
Did you know that the clothes you've thrown away can turn into a new beautiful jacket, shawl, or maybe an artistic acoustic wall? The sky is the limit when we talk about creativity. If you are into converting textiles to a new use or function, then acoustic panels by Hack Recycling in Rystel is something to learn about. The acoustic panels are good for insulating noise in a room and become a decorative wall. The company's mission is to develop methods and find new markets for selling used textiles. Defining clothes and shoes from the term textiles. Textiles are those that are not deemed reusable because of visible holes or stains, whereas the category for clothes and shoes can still be used by others and sold in the country in one of the second-hand shops of AffaldPlus called Plus Boutique in Nesville. These are clothes and shoes that are delivered directly to one of AffaldPlus's recycling stations or from second-hand shops in Denmark like from Kraftens Bekæmpelse genbrug. Textiles that cannot be used for reproduction in Denmark are called surplus of textiles, which will be exported either for recycling purposes or for transforming to a new product like in Poland and Belgium, where they have the machinery and production. These companies continue to find ways to reduce carbon dioxide emissions in the production process. In some cases, AffaldPlus pays for exporting textiles and sometimes earns money from it. This is another way to minimize the amount of textiles in the country. Things to ponder, looking back to more than 1,000 years ago. How was recycling defined back then? How did our ancestors make use of the things they could get from the sometimes unforgiving nature they live in? How do they communicate, travel, and build houses? we naturally become dependent on the things that we find comfortable these days. The society we are in requires us to have these necessities which were once considered luxury. Our standards of living determine our spending habits. We need to cope up with the new technology, new methods and processes, and be equally responsible for our actions. Being in Denmark for almost 9 years, I must say that waste management and reduction of carbon dioxide emissions is the highlight of my newsfeed I see on my phone every morning. Today, we will simplify it and make you understand why recycling, upcycling, and proper waste segregation is important and how it will benefit you as an individual and as a community. AffaldPlus is located in Næstved. Næstved is a town in the municipality of the same name, located in the southern part of island of Zealand in Denmark. The city has the largest high school in Denmark, named Næstved Gymnasium NHF. And if you are a fan of fine glass artwork, visiting Holmegaard is a good choice. Every household and office in Denmark has a glass vase or even a collection of glass tea light holders, lamps, and a set of dessert plates and other crystal glass bowls and ornaments. AffaldPlus works together with 6 municipalities as the responsible entity in collecting, segregating, and turning waste to energy that is beneficial for both the local community and the environment. Næstved, Ringsted, Vordingborg, Faxe, Slagelse, and Soro. Excess energy produced is sent out of the neighboring countries for their electrical consumption. Let us learn more about recycling and how we can support the organizations and companies that are working towards sustainability. Subject: electronic parts.
When somebody is interested to invest in getting the second-hand whiteware from Denmark to the Philippines or other countries outside of Europe?
Yes, I'm very aware of that in other countries, especially countries with a low income, that they have a big interest in machines from here because it's kind of luxury machines that we are usually throwing away. But exporting a thing like that can be quite complicated. And there are certain rules about what you can and what you can't do. And to keep the explanation short, when appliances are transformed to garbage here, in that process, the ownership of the appliances / garbage will change to the manufacturers. So the manufacturers suddenly are the owners of the.
During the tour, we learn about the critical raw materials that are used to bind with the present available materials to make a specific wear, like aluminum, magnet, batteries, chemical production, and raw materials used for aircraft and military equipment. These raw materials cannot be replaced as an alternative to produce a specific wear, and they are not easy to dispose of. On the other hand, there are companies that focus on offering services in finding solutions in segregating the parts that can still be used so that the concept of sustainability can be implemented. Stina Recycling has since 2022 worked closely together with AffaldPlus for a better recycling process of iron and metal. How to turn waste to energy. Food waste to district heating and electricity. We also learn how our food waste can be converted to electricity and district heating. This is like a food processor where the organic material is mixed with warm water, filters and turns into pulp, and turns to biogas, and the rest is used as fertilizer for agricultural farms. What about non-organic waste?
Combustion. There are strict requirements for a plant like Næstved Affaldsenergi. Therefore, we constantly monitor the combustion process using modern electronic equipment. Combustion converts combustible waste into carbon dioxide and water vapor. But there are also waste substances after combustion, partly slag, partly a residual product from the cleaning of the smoke. Slag is sent to company AF Tech, which takes care of sorting.
An example of recycled metal is of Richard Buxanis' art. An artist's method of making brass sculptures is through cutting and bending metal sheets, and not the usual casting. The form of bending is called metal welding, also known as acetylene welding. For the purpose of minimizing the use of raw materials, Richard upcycles the rest of the cut metal sheets to create a new piece of art. Everything should be used as much as possible.
Even yung mga scrap ko nagagamit. So very minimal na rin ang wastage namin. As much as possible, we reuse kung ano yung maiiwan naming cuttings. Kasi pag nag-cut ka ng pattern, definitely merong matitira. So, na-upcycle pa rin namin. In fact, meron na rin tayong parang green architecture accreditation even for local buildings here. So there are parang para ka nagpapa-ISO certification. So susundin mo lang kung ano yung guidelines, and then including na ron yung mga upcycling, recycling, use of landscapes for architecture, tapos power saving, yung iba solar na, yung iba self-cleaning panels, mga ganun.